lost at the heart, Lord, longing to be just like you. My face to the sun now, holding on to truth. Though the ground is shaking and the world is fading fast, yeah, 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 yeah. There is just one thing that I'm settling in my confidence. Through the storm, through the valley, through the rain, through the journey, through the storm, through the valley, standing still, hands uplifted, heart shouting out, I am anchored, I'm anchored in you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Lord, I'm anchored in you. Assured and abandoned, by grace I am planted, my hands to the plow now, your word is my focus. Strength behind your sacrifice, causing me to stand. So deeper, higher. Oh, there is just one thing that I'm settling. When the giants tower over my faith, and I'm frozen by the battles I face, there is just one place I go to be saved. I run in the arms, in the arms, in the arms of Jesus. You will never fail, never fail. You are my strong tower. I run in the arms, in the arms, in the arms of Jesus. You will never fail, never fail. You are my strong tower. In the shelter of your wings, you cover me, and it's here my rescued heart begins to sing.
Good morning and happy Tuesday, Revealing Truth Ministries. Welcome to Tuesday morning's Deeper Dive. We are live in the building in the Stability Studio with the livest live audience in Tampa Bay. Y'all are in the building. Good morning and welcome to you all who are here. And then we want to welcome you all that are with us in the virtual building. Welcome to Tuesday morning's Deeper Dive. You know, the Deeper Dive gives us the opportunity to not leave a message behind. Definitely don't want to leave Sunday's message behind, right? We can carry it with us into this week and ultimately into the rest of our lives, because we believe that when we attend to what God has said, we are most blessed. Amen. So, Pastor Brian is in the building with us.
Let's go.
Hey,
Hey,
Pastor morning.
Mark, how you doing?
Drop some good mornings to Pastor Brian in the chat.
Good morning, family.
Morning. And we're ready to, let's contend, Pastor Brian. Let's contend for the faith. New terms and conditions.
New terms and conditions.
AKA unwritten rules.
AKA unwritten rules.
Yes. You know, just to paint the picture where we're going to pick up for the conversation, right? I can't help but seeing the disciples behind those closed doors, right? I almost want to say snuggled up together, keeping each other safe, right?
Yeah.
You know, licking their wounds.
Yeah.
And probably having a lot of conversation about some doubt and disbelief, right?
Yeah.
A lot of conversation
Yes,
that validated the reason that the doors are locked.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of fear in the room.
Yeah.
And but what they will soon find out is that this new situation is just bringing about some new terms and conditions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's start there. New challenges, you know, whenever we're presented with a new challenge or just a new season. But the reality that we all know is that any type of new circumstance or situation brings us to a place where we start to think through new terms and conditions.
Yeah, and I think it's something that whether you're conscious of or not, it happens, right? You know, no one's exempt from it. You know, whether that new be something we were looking forward to or something that unexpectedly happened within us, we develop new terms and conditions, right? Because we want to have a good end. We want things to turn out to be favorable. And whether or not, like I say, you go as far as to writing these things down or whether it's something that's happened in your subconscious, either way, you set up terms and conditions, right, for how you see this thing best turning out beneficial. You know, I like to say it's just as simple as you go buy a car, right? And they're going to pull out some terms and conditions. You go buy a house, they're going to pull out some terms and conditions.
Right.
And same way in our everyday walking around life, when something new happens, something different happens, whether subconsciously or consciously, we are setting up terms and conditions on how we see this thing turning out to be favorable.
That's good. That's good. So just to sit there longer, like I'm imagining, even from getting into a new relationship, new opportunity, what I'm hearing you saying and what I'm seeing the disciples doing in that room is that they were they were evaluating their circumstance and
Exactly.
situation and allowed
Right.
that to speak.
And when they started evaluating, they said we need to lock these doors. We can't
Right.
just leave these doors open.
Right.
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 If they had the ability
Right.
to crucify our Savior, what are they going to do to us?
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, and so the challenge is allowing the circumstance to speak to us
Yeah.
and determine
Yeah.
how this is going to turn out.
Exactly. And, that was one of the major points we talked about. We should never look or try to establish new terms or conditions in the midst of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Right? We should never do that. Anytime we are emotionally or just mentally not in a place of faith, right? Not a place of faith in Jesus, we shouldn't start to establish
That's
points
good.
of belief based on that condition.
Yeah.
And everything is just we're knocking on the same rock. Another way we say this, and I say this often, is,
Right.
man, never try to establish things through the filter of disappointment. Don't wait until your worst moment to try to review your life.
Yeah.
Right? That filter alone is going to cause you to cast doubt over anything that could even be good.
Right.
It's hard to see potential in the midst of your disappointment.
Right.
It's hard to set up terms and conditions for believing in the midst of witnessing and being a part of things that have fractured the faith that you have, right?
That's good.
It's
That's
just
good.
bad season, bad timing,
Right. Right. Because then you begin to rewrite things that he's said about you, right? If I allow a negative or a bad moment to cause me to then redefine either who I am or my purpose or whatever it is, then I'm going to get to conclusions that are different from what he first established.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So this is Thomas, right? Thomas is doing that. He's in this
that
new
is-
situation.
Yeah.
Jesus isn't here.
Yeah.
Right? They crucified him.
Yeah.
And he comes to the room. Next time he meets up with the
Yeah.
disciples, he's already established some terms and conditions based on this new situation.
Right. He's already got them. And, he's already at a point to where he has some, call them only ifs, right?
Right.
Or when this happens. He's already set up some pretty, definitive points from which he will now believe again, right? And I think that's one of the beautiful parts is he didn't say he didn't refuse to believe.
Right.
He just set up some terms and conditions from which he would believe.
Right.
You
These
know,
are the things that have to
These
happen.
things that have to happen, and a lot of times that's what we end up doing in our lives. It's like we're not bold enough to say we won't, but we'll just set up terms and conditions that can't be met, right? And we'll find peace in that. We'll find peace in saying, well, if this happens, then I'll do it again. And everybody's, well, what's the if? And it's something so outlandish, something so ridiculous that it's like you might as well just say you give up,
Right.
right? But you're not bold enough to say I quit,
Right. Yeah.
right? and oftentimes we hide ourselves in terms and conditions because we think it's protecting us.
Yeah.
And truth of the matter is, right, the more those terms and conditions you end up setting up in your life, what you end up is trapped in your own terms and conditions.
Right.
You end up trapped in what was initially started off as safety precautions,
Yeah.
end up being the very things that entrap you in your own doubt and unbelief.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So in my mind right now, I can't help but to see a person that's locked inside a fence. Like you built the fence to protect you, but
Yeah.
really now it's
Yeah, which is a whole nother message in there, right?
isolated
You created your own fence through offenses. And now you
got
trap.
that one? Good.
Now you trap.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now you can't see out.
Right.
Right?
So when terms and conditions go unmet for a prolonged time, then it becomes doubt.
And
What's the danger there?
And that's something that we didn't spend. You always sometimes you ask me what point could spend a long time on. We could have spent the whole message right there. And I'm saying this because this isn't talking about well, if I'm Superman, this doesn't apply to me. Well, if I'm Superwoman, this doesn't apply to me. No, this applies to every person walking this planet, right?
Right.
That if you don't get your terms and conditions met over time, everybody's time limit is different. Some people, their time limit is a week.
Right.
And some people, their time limit could be years. But if you have set up terms and conditions from which you would believe something, and those conditions don't go met over time, it will birth doubt in you.
Right.
And why is it so important? Because we know that doubt is the opposing force to our faith.
You know, when you use words like that, I laugh because you mentioned Superman, right? Because we were talking earlier about this, and that's what I pictured, right?
Yeah.
And I'm okay. So now I'm moving. How much time we got? 15 minutes still. That's a good time.
Yeah.
That's a good time. So I don't know if I want to go here this soon. But let's stay with the doubt. Doubt is the opposing force of faith, and
Right.
then we'll bring Superman back.
All right, let's go.
Doubt is the opposing force of our faith, but leaving terms and conditions unmet
Right.
creates
Right.
doubt.
And we're doing this because we're wanting to level the playing field. We're wanting to help people find how they got to where they are. A lot of times when you know how you got there, you can now make sure you don't get there again, and you
Right.
can make sure you can get healed from there. And so that was the whole point. The whole point for us is to establish that, you know, many people are walking in doubt, but not wanting to own that. They're not wanting to say, "Oh man, I have some doubt." And it's like, you gotta understand there. Like, it's not like you woke up one day and say, "I want to doubt."
Right.
You know, like you woke up one day and said, "Today I'm gonna stop believing." Right.
Right.
That's not knowing. No, some people just don't wake up like that. Right. What happens is over time you've established terms and conditions to how you will be fully invested. If I use another term, or you will fully believe in a thing, and over time, that those conditions and those terms not being met is how you found yourself in doubt, how you found yourself as a person that just was walking around with unattainable goals to recover. You know, it was just a process that occurs over time. I'll still go back to a contract, right? No one goes back and reads the terms and conditions that they first signed until they're trying to get out of what they initially signed.
Yeah.
And so what started off
Right.
as just being, "Oh, that's how I keep this," end up being the very things that bound you to it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, oh, snap. Like, oh, man, now that I'm trying to get out, all them terms and conditions is keeping me in.
Right.
Right? And the very things that you saw as safety end up becoming chains, right? Like, it's just what happens over time.
That's good.
When and
Okay.
so many people have just had things that they have established based on moments of disappointment, moments of failure, and they said, so that I won't experience that disappointment again, so that I won't go through that pain again, so I won't have that disappointment again. Next time I'll do this. Next time I'll do this. And they set up all these terms. Here's the thing. You got to ask yourself, has any of them terms been met?
Right.
Because if you continue down this path, you're going to end up doubting that it could ever come true for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I hear is you just brought it home, right? You just brought us home, right? What I hear is that, you know, you've added stuff to what God said. Like
Right.
God said one thing, but then we add the condition,
Right.
and we've conditioned ourselves so far away from where God originally said.
Well, yeah, because, you know, and that's something we talked about too, right? There was conditions that had to be met for our freedom. You know, there's conditions that had to be met for our forgiveness.
Yeah.
And Jesus came and met those conditions.
Right. This
So
is where
we're
Superman comes in.
right. We're good on God's side.
Yeah.
Right. But so you have to ask yourself, then why am I not good in reality?
Wow.
Well, he met his, but have you satisfied yours?
Oh, that's good.
And whether you wrote them down, they're subconsciously there.
Right.
And like I say, a lot of people are like, well, I don't have. Yes, you do. Every person walking this planet has them. The question is, are they the ones that Jesus gave to you? Or are they ones that you created in moments of disappointment, moments of pain, to try to protect yourself, to try to guard you? Because that's where most of it comes from, right? Most people, they experience an adverse situation and they set up new rules and regulations. If I use another term, they establish some new terms and conditions, and so that they could avoid that moment again.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of realizing that as a believer, a part of your new terms and conditions is just always follow the guidance of the Holy Spirit, right? Like my trust in what I need is protected by my adherence to what he's saying for me to do. Like I like he knows, right? I don't even want to go down that road, right? But there's a series coming it's called The Advantage, right? And it's all about, you got to use your advantage. You got to use your advantage, right? And when you don't use your advantage, you are living a disadvantaged life.
Right.
Although you have the advantage with you.
Yeah.
And you set up terms and conditions because you're not leaning on the advantage that you have.
Right.
Right. And so you're having to set up these terms and conditions because you're not fully operating in what you've been given freely, which is the ability to be able to trust in a God who knows beyond your even thoughts, right? You know, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. This is like elite. Then we can get back to this, right?
Ready.
You know, one of the things that our advantage gives you, right? I have a lot of conversations with people, right? But people think I make decisions off of my conversations with them. No, I make decisions based off the conversation I had with Jesus about our conversation. That's my advantage.
Yeah.
Like you know, my advantage is I can take our conversation back to Jesus, and Jesus can talk to me about the conversation.
That's good.
And I make decisions based upon what he said,
Right.
not what we said.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Right? That's my advantage.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. So I see us, you know, needing to overlay that advantage over any circumstance, whether it be a negative
use
or
your
a positive.
advantage.
Use the advantage.
You got to use your advantage.
Right.
You got to
Before
use
you
your
begin
advantage.
to create your own terms and conditions, like use your advantage. Allow him to.
You have to set up these terms and conditions because you're not using your advantage.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good.
Right?
So I saw, you know, Superman always comes and saves Lois Lane. It's like no matter what the situation is. Y'all remember, right? The old Superman movie. No matter what situation Lois Lane was in, Superman came and rescued her. And what I'm seeing, like, Jesus is our Superman. No matter what terms and conditions you set up for yourself, Jesus is still willing to come and show you. Right? Just like he did with
And that's the beautiful part, right? You know, that's the beautiful part about it all is for us to realize he comes back.
He comes back.
He comes back.
That's so good.
He comes back because he understands more often than we do the dangers of the route we're on.
That's right.
Like he knows, like this is not going to end good.
Right.
You think you're building up safety precautions, but what you're actually establishing is boundaries eventually I won't even be able to penetrate.
That's good.
You're setting up fortresses mentally that even I won't even be able to get behind. So if I don't come back before you get encamped in your own terms and conditions, I will eventually get blocked out.
Yeah.
Like Jesus himself won't be able to get behind your walls. Right? He'll be able to tell you, you are a son and daughter of mine, and you have all spiritual blessings, and it hits you and it means nothing to you.
Yeah.
How does that hit? How does that mean nothing to you? That's because you are living in a life of doubt. You've set up terms and conditions. They've gone unmet over time. And so doubt has been sown in your heart, and the very words of Christ can't bring you out of it.
That's good.
All right?
Let's talk about breaking free of debt. Yeah.
That's another subject.
Yeah.
We're going to get there too. Part of our year contending is we need to be a debt-free church, right?
Right.
We're going to get there.
Breaking
Got a series
free of
coming. It's called
doubt.
Money Problems.
Okay.
Money Problems.
All right.
Maybe this is the series release session. The Advantage is coming. Money Problems is coming, right?
But breaking free of doubt. On
Right.
Sunday, you talked to us about, you mentioned our thoughts, right? The importance of capturing thoughts. So
Because doubt is doing this. Why is doubt such a thing that we are like, as believers, we hear that word doubt, and we're like, stay away.
right.
You know, and the point of the message is to say that many of you guys are in doubt. You haven't owned it, right? Because you know how bad it sounds. But if truth be told, and you were to analyze your situation, you have some only ifs. And only ifs are evidence that you do have doubt. If there's something in your life that God has called you to, that God has spoken for you to do, and you have these lists of qualifications for you to be able to do that thing, walk in that thing, you have doubt.
That's good.
You may not want to own it, but it's there.
Right.
But Jesus comes back. So be honest. Like I do have some terms and conditions. And they are set up because of the pain of my scenarios, but you are the healer of my life.
Right.
And I'm just standing here like, Thomas, let me touch you.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be healed. And that was so, I just don't want people to miss the point of the message is, it's okay. But you have to be honest so that you can be healed. You are living in doubt.
Yeah.
But you don't have to stay there.
Right. Right.
He comes back, but he's not coming back for who you're pretending to be.
Right.
Tell him your terms. Tell him your conditions. He'll let you touch him, and he will heal you from it because he realizes the nature of what happens when this goes unhealed over time. And so I didn't get to this on Sunday, but this was in the message, right? We talked about that we would do this, so we would do this, right? That why is doubt such a dangerous thing? And I had a chart. It's called The Dangers of Doubt, right? Doubt will always cause you to focus on the things you don't know instead of what you do.
Right. Right.
Like once you have found yourself overcome with doubt, you will never see what you do know.
Right.
You are forever fixed on what I don't know. You'll walk into a situation and you'll know 10 things about it, but only thing you can think about is the 20 things you don't.
Yeah.
Like you can't see it. When a person can't see the good they bring, and all they can think about is the lack they have, that is a person who's operating in doubt. They have been overcome by the spirit of doubt. They can't see the good.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
They can't see it. Doubt will cause you to always value past mistakes over present potential. Like doubt will always cause you to value your past mistakes over your present potential. Doubt will always cause you to think no matter how much hope you have in the moment, what you did yesterday is more powerful than what you can do today.
That's good.
Like it will always make your past mistakes seem like they are the reasons why no matter how much hope you have today, no matter how much truth you hear today, it means no good because my past mistakes will always overshadow my present potential. So if you're a person, you woke up today and you woke up fired up, encouraged, and ready to go. But as soon as you got in your car, all you can think about is the mistake you made last week. You are living in doubt.
Yeah.
And doubt has more power over you in this right now in your life than faith. And it's there because you have conditions that have gone unmet over time, who have sown the seed of doubt in your life. So you have to heal that. If you don't heal that, no matter how much good you hear, you will always be brought back down by your past mistakes. Like you just can't, it just is like, anyway. But doubt will always cause you to hesitate and waver. If you're a person who's always hesitant, if you're a person that's always wavering, you are dealing with doubt. Because what is doubt? Doubt is an oscillation in between belief and unbelief.
Yeah.
When someone is easily swayed between believing and unbelieving, like you see them 1 hour and they're like, man, let's go do it. The next moment they're like, man, I don't know if we can.
Right.
This person is in oscillation. They're wavering. They're not wavering based on the facts. They're wavering on the fact that there's doubt in their heart.
Right.
And when there's doubt in your heart, it will cause any good you see to be devalued. And every bad that you see to be overvalued, which causes oscillation. When you see a person that's just, they have doubt, and their doubt is sourced. And that's what we went through the trail. Where did their doubt come from? Their doubt came from terms and conditions they established based on previous moments of pain or disappointment. Somewhere in their life, they had a moment where they were disappointed, where they went through some situations, they had this go on, and they set up new terms and conditions. The problem is their terms and conditions they set up have not been met.
Right.
Whether it was they've been holding on to these terms and conditions for a year or a week, they have not been met. And because they have not been yet, they don't believe. There's no belief in them.
Yeah.
And so no matter what you say, you're just moving them with their words, but you're not inspiring their faith, right? Because doubt is there, right?
Say it again.
I can't, but
No matter what you say, no matter what, you're moving them with your words, but you're not inspiring their
faith, right? You're not stirring up. I was just thinking about all I heard was Pastor David saying, you got to be stirred up, and you over there just whipping the pot, right? Yeah. But ain't no mashed potatoes, right? There's just air.
Yeah.
Right? I make homemade mashed potatoes, right? And so this action, you gotta put in some elbow grease if you're gonna make some good mashed potatoes. Don't cheat. You can't put the little spinner in there. You won't, because some of them chunks supposed to be there. That's how you know they real. Because every once in a while you catch a little chunk potato.
Message,
You know what I'm saying? If someone's mashed potatoes are too smooth, they wasn't whipped right.
Whoa.
Anyway.
Message leaks, cooking tips. You get it all here on the Deeper Dive. Let's go.
And drop in a little sour cream. It'll make it soft and smooth. There's another little leak. Another little leak while we here.
Oh,
Put a little
man.
sour cream in the mashed potatoes while you whipping them, right?
That's good.
But make sure you skin them. No one wants too much skin in their potatoes. Don't be lazy.
You're right.
Don't be lazy. Don't be
Nobody likes
lazy.
that.
Don't be lazy. Anyway, don't be lazy, boss. Skin the potatoes.
That's so
Add the
good.
skins in later from after you skinned it, right? Make sure it's a nice 10% ratio to you know, it
Skin
shouldn't
to
be 50%
potato.
skin to potatoes.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be catching skin every time I put my spoon in, right? Anyway.
Amen. Well, that's good.
Father, say-
Now I'm hungry. Time for lunch.
Doubt will always cause you to undervalue your experience
Yeah.
and overvalue everyone else's. Doubt will always cause you to undervalue your experience and not just undervalue yours, but overvalue everyone else's. It's like you not only do you undervalue yours, but you overvalue everyone else's. You know, and you just sitting around like, man, I haven't done it before. But then you look at everyone else like they've been around the world.
That's good. Right.
No, there's things they haven't done either. But it's not stopping them in this moment. Why is it not stopping them?
Let's go.
Because they don't have the same terms and conditions you had.
Right.
At some point, they realize that list doesn't matter.
Right.
Either I'm going to have my faith in Jesus
Right.
or I'm not. And Pastor Lamar wanted me to hold on to the new terms and conditions until Thursday. Because that is one of the new terms and conditions.
Right.
Not to leave a cliffhanger, right? That there are a set of new terms and conditions that we have set up
Yeah.
that keep our faith in Jesus,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
One of the ones I taught us, can I say one, Pastor Lamar? Can I say one?
Well, I know we're reflecting on his past achievements, right? Even in
There
those
we go.
moments, of
You gonna let me
evaluating
get that one? Yes, sir. I appreciate
our
that, right?
wins and losses. Boom. We're reflecting on his past achievements.
One of the new terms of our new faith, our better faith, is we reflect on his past achievements to overcome our present mistakes.
That's good.
It's not that we are perfect now,
Mm-hmm.
but when we make a mistake,
That's good.
we don't reflect on our past achievements
Mm-hmm.
to say, well, I've done it bad. I've done this before. I can overcome. No. Anytime I make a mistake, I reflect on his past achievements
Mm-hmm.
to realize that, no, I don't have to stay down.
Yeah.
It's no longer I who am living. It's Christ who's living inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I make a mistake, I reflect on what he's done
Right.
to overcome.
Yeah. You know, and I can see how that can be challenging in a moment when we're down, but it may be even equally or even more challenging in a moment when we're up. Like wanting to then qualify the next step based on what we've accomplished instead of looking at his past.
We had that message 2 weeks
achievements.
ago, right?
Mhm.
And I often say it, you know, maybe to say it even more, that really and truthfully, all these messages are woven together, just in a way. You know, I'm talking about series that are coming. You know, I can't undervalue or say words that could give enough importance to the fact that your pastor spent an incredible amount of time, not just me, but I watch what Pastor Lamar does. I watch what Pastor Benjamin does, and I watch what Pastor. They spend an incredible amount of time preparing the Word of God and making sure that that you are getting things that are piling on top of each other. These aren't independent messages, and I say that because you know that almost shouldn't even be a statement that has to be made based on the messages that were taught 2 weeks ago. And the fact that you shouldn't want the credit. You can't take the credit. If you take the credit, that's beginning the process. Like that is the, you know, we talked about Paul and his relentlessness of saying, I don't even want it. Like even I don't even want you to account.
Right.
Paul says, maybe more. I make myself for no reputation. No reputation. I don't want it because it starts the feeding process of me seeing myself greater than I need to see myself. And I might be okay right now.
Right.
But eventually it's going to come against me. Because if I get on that mountaintop and I got on this mountaintop looking at me, if the mountaintop starts to crumble, then it's going to be me in trouble. Because I didn't allow Jesus to build me to that mountaintop. I didn't take my eyes off of him in the process of maturing. And so you just cannot, you have to be relentless about that. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's like any good you see of me is because Christ did something good through me.
Amen.
Like that's it, period. Point blank. Man, I don't need the credit.
Right.
Maybe we should have titled the message, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Just to make it as bold as possible. But I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. Man, because I want to be prepared for my mountaintop. I want to be sustainable in victory.
Yeah.
I want to be sustainable. I want to have built a foundation that when everything is where it's supposed to be and going good, it stays good.
Right.
But if you want to build an unsustainable mountaintop, put you in the process.
That's right.
That's just as plain as it get.
Yeah.
Think more highly of yourself than you should. Pride comes before destruction, right? Right? Like that's it. I is in the center of what? Pride is right there in the middle, man. You can't have it without I. Like leave I out of it, right? Just don't do it, man. It's not worth it.
That's good.
It's not worth it.
That's good. I feel like this message was Jesus coming to get like some people, all of us, right? I mean, the message that was taught on Sunday was, in many cases, I think the thing that many people were praying for. You were looking for a way out, not knowing how to get it, and this message was delivered to you.
Yes,
like
sir.
This is the way out of your fences. Amen. So, with that being said, thank you so much for joining us for this morning's Deeper Dive.
Yeah.
Happy Tuesday to you. We look forward to sharing a moment with you tomorrow night. It's Valuable Wednesday. Yeah. We'll see you in the chat, and then we'll see you Sunday. Till then, be blessed.
That's not what I see in me. I am at the forefront, I am in the lead. I am not your sidekick, I can keep it beat. Oh, I think I like it, all that I can be. And I got so many women depending on me. So I'm breaking free of these chains, of this game. No more playing, depend on me. I'll be all that I am, that I can be.
I was told that I have to play a role, be a nice, quiet, good little girl. Be a quiet helper, hold quiet hands. Behind every man is a quiet woman. Right now at this moment we're taking a stand, saying that I am who I am. I am the director, oh I am the lead. I am not your sidekick, made to be a queen. Oh I think I like it, all that I can be. Cause I got so many women depending on me.
So I'm breaking free
Of this chains, of this game, no more playing.
depend on me. I'll be all that I am, that I can be.
Of this chains, of this game, no more playing.
Depend on me. I'll be all that I am, that I can be. We are less, so we are weak. Do you believe? It's no confession, it's a question to be answered. Cause I see eagles when I look at you and me. Tell me, ladies, are you a commander? Let me say again. We are less, so we are weak. Do